So I'm just sitting here, just got done delivering a load up here in Illinois. So I'm just taking some time off before I go to my next pickup. But lately I've been seeing a lot of videos on the YouTube as far as people's experience with the Jehovah Witness, I guess, religion or whatever. And so I figured I'd share my little stint as a Jehovah Witness. So when I was younger, my birth mother and my father had divorced. So by the time I was 10, my father had remarried, and he actually married a Jehovah Witness. So about the age of 10, I moved in with them. And that began my experience with, the whole faith, the Jehovah Witnesses. But prior to that, living with my birth mother, her whole situation with them is don't answer my door for them people. If they come knocking, shut them shades, lock that door, turn the lights off, turn that TV down. Lead them people out there knocking. Don't answer my door, because I done got time to talk to them people. Once you get them started, you can't get them to shut up. You can't get them to go away. And if you answer my door, I'm going to leave you right there talking to them people, because I don't want nothing to do with that. So I used to always, wonder why she was so turned off with these people. Like, I thought she was quite rude to them, but, everybody has their way of dealing with things and people. But, yeah, once I moved in with my father and my stepmother used to make me go to the Kingdom Hall. Now, she would go 3 days a week. I believe it was Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday she would do field service, and Sunday she would go to the Kingdom Hall. So you would have to go 3 times a week. Now, she never made me go to field service except for once I became a teenager, and she was, just pushing me further on through it, and I was kind of with it, because, I was young at the time. So I mean, they used to just have me thinking that the world was going to end like tomorrow. Anytime there was a storm, anytime it would rain real heavy, anytime the sky would turn gray, I'd be in my room thinking, oh, Jehovah, is this the time? Is this going to be it? I used to be real scared. Like, some of the stuff they say is just like, it's really deep. And then I noticed how, they don't promote going to prom and stuff like that. And I think you can go to graduation, but like proms, after parties, and partying with worldly people and stuff like that, that's really, they're not really with that. They don't want their children hanging with people who go to regular churches, who are of different denominations of faith and stuff like that. If you're a Jehovah Witness, you're going to be hanging with Jehovah Witnesses, or you ain't going to be hanging with nobody. And that's just period. But I started to fall, flat with them through a couple experiences. And one was, my stepmom had a good friend in the faith. Her name was Sister Turner. I'll just leave it at that. I won't say her first name. But she was very nice. She was very pretty too. And she was married to another guy who was a brother in the hall. And they had a baby. And it was, a beautiful couple, good-looking couple. My stepmom was very close with them. So as time went on, I guess Sister Turner ended up having an affair, and she became disassociated, amongst the hall. So basically, when you're disassociated, you're not allowed to talk to any of the other brothers and sisters in the hall in good standing, but you still have to come to these meetings. So when you come, you have to sit at the front row of every meeting, so everybody can see you, but they can't talk to you, but they all know what you did. Like, they all know what you did. It's told amongst the congregation that you are under a dissociation, and they know basically that you did something bad. So they gossip amongst themselves, and they won't give you eye contact if you're disassociated. You have to come to these meetings, get the word, get in your car, and go home until they find you back in good standing. And that could be weeks, months, could be years. It depends on if you get your stuff together. But Sister Turner and her husband ended up getting a divorce also, and they definitely shun that. They do not play divorce, affairs, premarital sex, any of that type of stuff is a no-go with Jehovah Witnesses. So if you get caught up doing any of that and you confess up, you're going to be disassociated, and they're going to let the congregation know. I mean, you're going to be under heavy embarrassment, because you have to sit at the front of this congregation every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, whenever they get together. And these people know that about you, but they can't talk to you. They're not allowed to laugh with you. They're not allowed to smile with you. Their kids who know you can't say nothing to you. That's horrible. That's a horrible punishment. I mean, if God built us as humans, he knows our imperfections, and we're not perfect. We're going to mess up sometime. But if we repent and we turn back to him, that should be cool, right? That's what it says in the Bible, repent, Not enough for those folk. Then my aunt, I got an aunt and she was struggling, with drugs and stuff like that. Another beautiful woman. She's a good person. Even when she was down, she was a good person. She was good to her kids when she can. She fell apart a few times, and each time she would go and confess it to these elders or whatever at this Jehovah Witness, the Kingdom Hall, and they would put her on disassociation. And even my stepmom wouldn't talk to her own sister. Would be having get-togethers on Sundays at the house, but she wasn't invited over. And it's like, man, just invite her over. Like, let her know she's still loved and she got family and she's still a part of things. She can't come here because she's not in good standing with Jehovah. Jehovah this, Jehovah that, Jehovah this, Jehovah that. I'm like, it was just too much for me. You know what I'm saying? And then they have these certain people who they claim are going to heaven in their congregation, and they just hold them with such high regard, like they just can't do no wrong. So one of them was actually Sister Turner's brother, and I won't say his name, but he was always a little awkward, like always kept this weird smile on his face, you know what I mean? I kind of thought he was a little off or whatever, but whatever. Always talking about Jehovah, all of this stuff, and they just held him in such high regard. Don't y'all know, a couple years ago, he was on the news going to jail because he was hiding out in public bathrooms, videotaping women, and just doing all kind of weird stuff. See, these people who are so holier than thou be the first ones to, point out other people's sins, but be the main ones hiding their own. This is why I had to just get up out of that. And then, when I hit about 13, 14, I got caught smoking cigarettes. My stepmom went in on me, okay, about these cigarettes. Made me go and confess what I did, and I was labeled bad association, which is the same thing as fully disassociation. But I got labeled as bad association, so amongst the younger congregation, I really wasn't allowed to be an influence around any of my other peers. So, I was starting to be sectioned off too, so I just gave up. I'm not going to keep coming and try to get in y'all people grace. No, I'm not perfect. I know me. Okay, it's a cigarette today. It might be weed or something tomorrow. I knew me when I was young, so listen, we're not going to go through the mill. If you think I'm going to sit up in front of a congregation while everybody else come up in here can associate, laugh, talk, do all of that, but they can't even look at you or talk to no, I'm not going to be a part of that. So I just gave up. I gave up and gave in. No, y'all go to y'all Kingdom Hall, y'all meeting. I'm going to chill and let religion just cool off and all of that other stuff. And shall I, want to journey and find God later in life, then I will. Okay? I had to leave them people alone. I mean, they just, to me, they hold their people to a standard that is it's unattainable. We live in a world of imperfection, so you can't expect people who have to go out into the world every day where there's a lot of sin out there, there's a lot of violence out there, and expect them to just walk straight through it like they're not going to be touched, or they're untouchable or something. It's just like, it's impossible. It's just impossible. Yeah, we live in the Matrix, whatever. But ain't none of them Neo. They ain't ducking and dodging no bullets. Ain't none of them. A lot of them people, they sit up there and they act like they are so holier than thou, perfect. Holier than thou, just perfect. And they don't get into nothing. It's some lies. They just don't get caught. And when they do get caught, then it's known. Because now you're sitting at the front of the congregation and everybody's like, whoa, did you hear? They did this, they did that. I mean, who would want to be a part of something like that? Now, everybody has their personal choice of whoever they want to sit up there and worship or whatever. You do good just being a believer of a higher power and just knowing that, keep it at that. You know what I'm saying? Because the Bible doesn't tell you to necessarily be of any type of label religion. It doesn't say to be religious. It says to be holy as he is. So them people just get it all jacked up. You got to do this, you got to do that, and you got to do this, and don't do that. I was like, you know what? Oh, bye. Because, I was smoking a couple little Newports here and there. I wasn't going to lie. I just smoked a couple Newports. I had me a couple drinks. And I got caught up. So I confessed, and this is how you do me? So, no, I had to let the Jehovah Witness run and go. And, when I see other people's videos about it, I'm like, oh, well, it wasn't just me. As an adult, I look back on it and I'm like, phew, I might have escaped something. Like, I don't know if that was a cold or something. I don't know, but I think I might have escaped something I didn't want to be a part of later on in life. So, yeah, anybody who's ever been through that type of situation, don't look down on yourself or feel like you're a bad person because those people disassociated you. Move on with your life. Shoot, let them lead them people there. Most of the people that you seen there when you was younger ain't even in it no more. They fell off somewhere. Some have given up. I even heard one couple, a real nice couple that was in there, they got married, had a baby. They bought this house right behind my parents. And when I moved out of Ohio, a couple years later, my stepmom told me, she said, "Oh, did you hear what happened to them?" I said, "Oh no, why? What happened?" "Yeah, girl, he was having, bedroom activities with another man behind the sister's back, and they ended up getting a divorce, and they both ended up disassociated because of the divorce and the same-sex, orientation of the husband." I was like, "Whoa, that's terrible. I would have never thought." But then again, I can see it now that I'm an adult, because he was just so perfect looking, just dressed all the time, hair gel back all the time. He was just very nice and smiley and giggly. I guess there was something in the personality. But yeah, if you was ever in that type of situation and you look back and you feel bad about yourself, don't feel bad about yourself. It happens to a lot of people, and just keep going on with your life. And if you could find something, in this universe to believe in, find peace in that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off the beat, and yeah, don't be answering your door for them people. They come knocking on your door, and they knock on your door at the worst time. It's Saturday. People still be sleeping. They done worked all week. They knocking on your door, click, click, click. You're like, who is it? And they're outside just standing there, with their coats buttoned up, their Bible and pamphlets in their hand, talking about, "Have you heard the good news? The kingdom of Jehovah is at hand." No, listen, I'm still trying to sleep. I done worked all week. I don't have time to be looking for no good news, nothing like that. Come back later or call me or something like that. But I ain't got time to be answering my door. You done broke my sleep, and I don't get a chance to sleep in never. You can't be knocking on my door with that. When I finally get home and I hear somebody knocking, I'll leave you down there knocking, because if I didn't invite you here, I'm not expecting you, then I'm not going to answer for you. You call and you announce when you're coming. So yeah, don't be led into things out of fear. I think that's what it was to me. I was listening to a lot of stuff my little cousins and them who was up there and that stuff was saying. It was making me scared too. I'm like, yeah, I better follow Jehovah. I better follow Jehovah. And I smoked them cigarettes and got caught up. And the next thing you know, them people done turned on my black ass. So yeah, let me get off the beat. But yeah, find something to believe in, And if you don't believe in anything, that's okay too. Y'all have a good day.